Tonight, some Maryland landowners are hiring attorneys as the company behind the controversial transmission line project tries to survey their land.
The company has already promised legal action if residents don't allow surveyors onto their property. But those landowners say they shouldn't be required to support a project that won't benefit Maryland.
Leave. Stop. Stop harassing me and our family. Stop harassing our community. Go back to PJM and come back with a better alternative for achieving, the energy needs of Northern Virginia.
The transmission line, just one potential solution to meet rising energy demands. And tonight we're learning Maryland's solar power plant is also under some criticism.
Fox 45's Mackenzie Frost has that story in a moment. But first, our team coverage begins with Jessica Babb and confusion over land surveys surrounding the Maryland Piedmont Reliability Project.
This is it. It's like a telephone book.
This massive ream of paper is a lawsuit filed against landowners like Charlie Bond.
I think when it first came in, we're pretty overwhelmed. PSEG is a private corporation. They're looking for unfettered access to our property.
As the developer behind the Maryland Piedmont Reliability Project is trying to get access to their land to conduct surveys to build the sprawling 70-mile high-voltage transmission line. They argue it'll address growing energy demands, but it's a line that will also support data centers in Northern Virginia. These renderings show what the transmission line would look like, ripping through Bond's Baltimore County land.
So much more destructive than we ever imagined.
Since landowners haven't been willing to work with the company, wanting to protect their properties, Public Service Enterprise Group is hoping a judge will grant them access to people's private property until the date the State Public Service Commission issues a decision on the project.
What they're requesting in this lawsuit is pretty egregious. I feel a little bit violated. They're not just looking for very specific, isolated access. They're not really asking for permission or putting any conditions on it. They are looking for unconditional access to our property. Everything you see here, I might as well make a duplicate key to my house for them.
And with little time to respond to the lawsuit,
there is a massive amount of pressure being applied by PSEG, and they're always pushing this very aggressive schedule. We have done nothing wrong here, but we are now being forced to engage with legal counsel and spend our savings to basically represent ourselves to defend our property rights.
Talking to attorney Kurt Nachman. Does the judge have the authority to allow a private entity onto private property?
So it turns out, yes. About 20 years ago, there was a Supreme Court case that came out that indicated that eminent domain may be utilized for private purposes and private profit. It is possible that a judge could order these private homeowners to have someone forcibly survey their property.
And a judge could allow this even though a formal CPCN hasn't been issued for this project yet.
That's correct. It is possible that the judge does that. It doesn't sound right. Many of us believe that our property rights are, sort of foundational towards Western society, but, the Supreme Court in that decision has sort of eroded away at that.
So with that legal precedent, if a judge does allow that, is there any room for the governor or the Public Service Commission to step in and then deny it?
I certainly hope that the PSC and the governor take action.
But a spokesperson from the Public Service Commission says they don't have the authority to step in and stop it. And they say the governor doesn't either. And with a case in front of them, they say they won't intervene in a related court case. And while they will end up making a decision on the Piedmont project and will take landowners' concerns into consideration, they also say they don't advocate for either landowners or developers. And while Governor Wes Moore this week has said,
I'm always going to stand with the people on these issues. And I think that the challenge of this wide-scale eminent domain that they're talking about is not something that I am okay with.
I asked his office how he plans to stand with the people on this issue. Late this afternoon, his office finally responding, reiterating the governor's grave concerns about the project. They also reiterated that he's met with PJM and signed a letter with other governors for more collaborative transmission planning.
some of these aggressive tactics and this really aggressive assault on our property rights, it emboldens us. But this is a fight that we never asked for. But sure enough, we're going to have to stay in it to the end.
In Baltimore County, Jessica Babb, Fox 45 News.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.